Okay, now we have our goals, and it's time to really identify what our strategies and tactics are going to be to be able to help us meet those goals that we've committed to now. And we're going to talk quickly about ideal customer profile. We'll do it more in depth when we get into marketing, but I think it's important now to take a step back and say, before we start talking about strategically how we're going to go forward with the business and tactically, we need to understand who our ideal customer is. We need to profile them. And this is a short presentation on how to do that. And it's, I think, vital to get this profile together so you know who your ideal customer is. And we'll talk about how we're going to use this information later in marketing. But right now, I don't believe you can put strategy and tactics together until you understand who your ideal customer is. And not everybody's your ideal customer, as you'll see.
Well, to kick this off, let's talk about some of those lies that I talk about at the very first of this. Self-limiting beliefs, things that hold us back, things that we've heard, that we've experienced, that we just feel are absolute facts, but they're really not. I just need to get my name out there. I hear that all the time. It's all about frequency. All I need is a superstar salesperson. Marketing costs too much. There's no way to know if it's working or not. It's an expense. I'm just throwing money out there. I don't know if it's working. I tried that and it didn't work. My market's totally different than anybody else's, so you can't help me. And mine's different. I know they did that and they did this, but my market's different. All I need is more leads. Just get me more leads and everything will be okay. That's what I hear constantly. And let me tell you, all those are lies, and we'll talk about the truths here in just a moment. So some more lies. To grow, I need to expand my market. I need more territory. I need to expand outside the city. I need to do this. I need to get into new markets. I just don't have a big enough market to grow my business the way I want to. More cold calling. I need salespeople to do more cold calls. We need to just be cold calling. I can't find anybody to do that. I can't afford to do more marketing. It's an expense, and I don't know if I get any return for it, so I really can't afford it. It costs too much. Business is down because the phone isn't ringing. That's one of my favorites. Lower prices will boost my business. I just need to lower the prices. This wasn't selling, so I lowered the price, and if I lower the price, I'll sell more of it. Everyone buys on price, though. Everybody out there is constantly buying on price. It's just ridiculous how bad it's gotten. Those are all, self-limiting beliefs, lies that we're going to dispel here in just a few minutes.
Okay, so if those are all lies, let's talk about something that I believe is probably the best quote from Seth Godin, who's a real superstar marketing person. The quote is, if you want to be the best in the world, make your world smaller. It's just counterintuitive. Again, we have these beliefs that we got to get our name out there. We got to go. We got to get everything. As salespeople, as a salesperson, I always wanted a bigger territory, more people to call on. And what that does is just spray. You have no focus. You're trying to be everything to everybody, and you can be nothing to nobody doing that. So that's what this concept's all about. If you want to be the best in the world, then make your world smaller. And if you do that, you can be the best in the world, and you can be very relevant to the people that you're trying to market to. So how would I describe an ideal customer? Well, number one, they believe what you believe. They're like you. They believe what you believe. Their company's like your company. You probably share a lot of core values together. They're loyal because they value your unique solutions to their wants, pains, fears, needs. They value that. They see there's a value to that, and that the price they're paying you is lower than the value they're getting from your services and products. They refer you to others. They tell other people about you. And they buy most, if not all, of what they sell from you. So in a nutshell, that's what an ideal customer is. It's not the largest people necessarily. It's not the ones that buy the most from you necessarily. It's the ones that share these characteristics. And we'll talk more about that and how we profile and understand who they are. Who's not an ideal customer? Well, they buy on price mostly. You've seen them. They're not loyal at all. The minute they get a better price or a better deal, they're gone. They cherry pick your products and services. If you have lots of products and services, they'll buy the ones that they can get the lowest price for. They're most vocal and demanding. They tell other people about you when they leave you. They suck up resources that could be focused on ideal customers. These people are vocal, demanding, and they're sucking up your resources. You know who they are. You have customers like this right now. And I tell you what, the morale of your company goes up tremendously when you fire a couple of these people. And then don't value your solutions. They just don't value them. They just want the lowest price for that product. They don't value the other things that you bring to the marketplace, the way you serve your customers in a unique way. They don't value that at all. So all they're looking for is price. And again, they're probably abusive to your people, and just people you don't want around.
I love these two cartoons. This is a good strategy, but a bad prospect. In other words, if we pull this off, we'll eat like kings. They're set a trap, but anything that comes down that slide, especially a kid's, going to destroy their whole strategy. So they've got a good strategy, but they put it in the wrong place. Or another example is these two guys, shh, Zog, here come one now. In other words, they put the meat in there with themselves, so they're going to get eaten up. And anything that eats meat is going to come into that box, and then it's going to eat them. So just like attracting non-ideal customers to your place, you've got a lot of customers you'd like to fire. So why do we want to attract more people who are going to suck our resources, beat us down on price, constantly be complaining? We don't want to attract those kind of people. We want to attract people that are ideal customers, that value what we do, that are loyal, that remark about us and tell others about us. Those are the kind of customers we want to build a business around. And those are the kind of customers we want to attract, and we'll be more successful attracting with a great message.
I guess the point being that we want to attract ideal customers and repel others with our messaging. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody we do business with in the future will be ideal customers, but those are the kinds of people we want to attract, because we cannot be all things to all people, or we will be nothing to nobody. Too many people out there have a spray it all out there marketing program and messaging that doesn't really attract anybody, just lets them know they're there, and it's not very effective. We want to attract ideal customers by serving them and solving their problems. And the ideal customer, remember, they value what we do, the extra value we bring to the equation. They value that. And those are the kind of people we want to attract, because they'll stay around, they're loyal, they'll refer us. So building a business with mostly ideal customers is building a valuable business, a profitable business, and one that's worth something more than the assets that are with it, because you've got that loyalty, that recurring revenue coming in.
I like to start out with my definition of marketing, which I stole from a lot of different places and put together in one paragraph. But I think this sums it up. The use of focused, relevant, frequent communications to effectively and efficiently get people with similar needs, wants, pains, and fears to know, like, and trust you. Every one of those words has a meaning, and many of them tie together. You cannot be focused, relevant, and frequent unless you're talking to people who have similar needs, wants, pains, and fears. You can't be relevant to everybody. You can't market to everybody. You can only be relevant to the people that are your ideal customers who have similar needs, wants, pains, and fears. We want to be effective, but we also need to be efficient. We don't have a huge marketing budget. So we got to make sure that what we do is very effective, but that we do it efficiently. And then the last part is getting people to know, like, and then trust you. Those are the three things that have to happen in sequence for them to buy from you.
So how do I know who my ideal customers are, and then how do I understand them better so I can complete a profile on them? Well, first thing to do is define and profile your ideal customers. So identify your ideal customers. If there's 5, 10, 15, 20, if you have several different markets, go through the list and pick the ones that are loyal, that buy most of their stuff from you, that really value what you do. They have great relationships. If you had 500 of them, you could go to the beach and sit, and everything would be wonderful. So identify who those people are. If you have several different markets, then identify enough of them in each of those markets. Then go to SurveyMonkey or some survey program that costs $29, I think, a month. Sign up for it and send out a poll or a survey via email, asking these two questions. What is the single most important question you have about, and then whatever it is that you do. In my case, it's about building a growing and profitable business. That is a real good question, and if they give some thought to it, and when you get those responses back, you're going to know exactly what it is that's on their mind, that they're trying to get answers to these questions. What are the top 3 issues, problems that you deal with each week that sometimes keep you up at night? This is going to uncover pains and fears also. And list the ones you think they'll say so they can do it multiple choice, and then give them an other. But what you're going to get from those 2 questions is you're going to really understand what their pains and fears are. You may think you know what they are, but this is going to give you definitive information. And this is the key thing that we're doing when we identify who our ideal customers are and start profiling them, or what are their pains and fears. And then get on the phone and call a few of them. Do a little more in-depth survey, profile. Ask some questions about their wants and needs, their characteristics, how large they are, how many employees they have, those kind of things. So you can get some good feel demographically and characteristics about those ideal customers that they all share in common. And then define them, and this will help us define the pains and fears part of the profile. So in next few slides we'll go through what the profile is and how to complete it.
So I've talked about an ideal customer. What is an ideal customer profile? Well, here's mine, just for the fun of it. Give you an idea. My ideal client. They're a successful business owner, 5+ years in business. They're over 40 years old. The size of their business is anywhere from $500,000 to $15 million. They have 5 to 50 employees. The decision maker title is the owner. Characteristics: they're committed to improving their business and themselves. The business is not as profitable as it should be. The business depends too much on the owner. The owner's too busy with too much to do. It's not growing like it should be. And they're open to learning and changing. Their wants and needs: they want to be more profitable. They want to grow more. They need a catalyst to change. They want new ideas. They want to follow through and execute in their business. They want a business that works for them, not one that relies on them to work. They want a valuable business that allows them to retire or pass it on to a relative someday. So those are the basic wants and needs of my ideal customers, the people that I've found over the years that when I work with them, we're very, very successful. And lastly, what are their pains and fears? What keeps them up at night? Well, cash flow and profitability, not where it should be. They fear marketing and sales aren't performing as they should. As we said, they're too busy and the business depends too much on them. They continue to have people pains. They can't seem to follow through and implement solutions and new ideas in the business. They have them, but they start and stop and can't seem to follow through. They fear they're not being able to retire someday, or that they're not making the money that they should in the business. So those are the pains and fears that are shared by my ideal clients over the years.
So in summary, there is an ideal customer profile template in this package you can download. Then go to SurveyMonkey and sign up and do your 2-question survey. What is the single most important question you have about, and then whatever it is in your business, like in mine, growing a profitable business with less drama, whatever you want to put in there, but something around what they do and questions they have that you may be able to answer for them, and hopefully can. And then the second question, of course, is then list the pains and fears that you feel keep them up at night, and have them pick 2 or 3. Give them another area where they can write something in. But I think you've got a pretty good idea of a list of pains and fears that they have. So you got to sit back and think about those and then write them down and give them the opportunity to pick 2 or 3 in a multiple choice question. Then after you get the survey back, call a few. Ask them questions, probe a little deeper. But again, pick these ideal customers that you'd like to have 500, 600, 1,000 of them, just like these people, and then find out everything you can about them. And then you can complete the profile, much like I did in the slides before this. And the reason for doing this again is I don't think you can build strategy and tactics to achieve your goals without really understanding who your ideal customer is. And again, we're going to cover this more thoroughly when we get to marketing, but right now this is important so that you've got a profile of the people you're going to want to try to attract in the future.